The BBC HD channel. We do like to be beside the sea.
During the 1930s, when this seaside resort was at its peak, half the country's population came to sample the air. That was a whopping 19 million visitors a year. No prizes for guessing today's destination, Blackpool. Let's take a bird's eye view of our venue today. And what a vantage point. Blackpool has always thought big. Within 40 years, from 1890 to 1930, it built this, the country's tallest tower, the world's biggest Ferris wheel, 3 piers, the Winter Gardens, and the Blackpool illuminations were fired up. At 518 feet, it's the best place to see everything Blackpool has to offer. And it's an imposing symbol for the home of the British summer holiday. When it was built in 1894, Blackpool Tower became the ultimate upmarket Victorian theme park, with its ballroom, aquarium, circus and museum. There was a zoo too. The Tower Circus is famously entertaining, and they're just getting ready for the new season here behind me. But did you know the show has never closed, not even for war? And that's because 750,000 service personnel did their basic training close by during the 1940s. And this is the jewel in the Tower's crown, the ballroom, where we're just setting up for today. And its flamboyance is down to a design dreamt up by top theatre architect Frank Matcham, who let his imagination run wild. The ballroom's no stranger to hosting glamorous events. For years, it was home to TV's Come Dancing. But time now for us to cue the specialists as they take the floor.
Now, to quote a very famous poem about Blackpool, it is noted for fresh air and fun, is that right?
That's correct.
And I have to say that these two ladies are definitely, they're having fun, aren't they?
I would hope so, yes, I would hope so.
But the big question is how long have they been having fun in Blackpool, and where have they been having fun?
Well, for many, many years, they were in a basement below this very room, below the Tower Ballroom, along with a few other bronze trophies. I think about 10 years ago, they were rediscovered, put into a local auction house, and because we are interested in all things Blackpool,
yes,
had to have one.
Right, okay. Well, before we get onto that side of life, let's have a look at the girls themselves, because this is a dancing trophy.
It is a dancing trophy.
And it's rather appropriate that we're in this amazing temple,
yes,
of Baroque extravagance. This is Frank Matcham at his best, the great theatre designer, isn't it?
Oh, it is.
And this is the sort of, if I can use the word out of context, the epicentre of ballroom dancing in the northwest of England.
Absolutely.
It doesn't get bigger.
No.
They don't look like ballroom dancers, do they?
No, they don't.
No. I think the inference here is all in the fact that they're, well, the inferences can be found on the corners, because you've got bunches of grapes. These are bacchanalian revellers. And I know we're going back to classical Greece, really. So, in other words, they're intoxicated.
Right.
But the lady responsible for it, and this is a lady sculptor,
yes,
is a lady called Claire Jean Robert Collinet. And there is a signature at the back, C-O-L-I-N-E-T, but I've learnt enough French to say Collinet and not Collinet. And this is quite typical of Collinet's work because there's an exuberance in her work, and her girls they're quite lithe. They're not quite as skinny as some Art Deco girls. She gives them sort of slightly more ample proportions. But these girls, they're obviously they're dating from the 1920s, maybe the early 30s. But, you know, you've got the movement there, you've got this fantastic base.
It's so graceful.
Dare I ask, when it came to that auction, I mean, your heart must have been in your mouth, because auctions are wonderful places to get the adrenaline pumping, aren't they?
Yes.
They really are. So the hammer came down?
The hammer came down.
At what price?
And my husband and I were thinking about this, and I think it was 2,000.
2,000. And how long ago was that?
Might have been 10 years.
10 years ago.
My memory isn't what it was.
All right.
So,
well, if you were to go out and try and replace them, and this is a very rare group, you're not going to find these girls for less than £6,000.
good heavens.
So,
wow. Well, they won't be going anywhere. They're staying in Blackpool at home.
which, let's remind everybody, is noted for fresh air and fun.
I'm used to Delph vases in the traditional colouring of blue and white.